Was made yesterday, you can believe we heard all kinds of reasons why this shouldn't be allowed, why private companies should not be able to, well, tell their employees they have to get vaccinated or not work here. Well, let's start with the fear of COVID-19 vaccine side effects. We've seen so many references to the country's Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System, or VAERS. But look at all the side effects being reported if you're on that website. It seems like a lot. And we've said it before, and we'll say it again. Adverse side effects are very, very rare when it comes to the coronavirus vaccine. And when it comes to the VAERS database, which was created by Congress in 1990 to help medical experts track any sort of issue that may come up with a vaccine. However, as we pointed out several times, it isn't exactly foolproof, and anyone can post to it, not just doctors or healthcare providers, which is how we get things like this. When a man from Indiana posted this last month about his reaction to the Pfizer vaccine that he got back in March. Under the adverse event description paragraph there, he wrote, severe headache, mild fever, moderate lethargy. Well, he also wrote, a third arm has grown out of my forehead and often slaps me when I'm trying to sleep. Are you reading this? He wrote. This is published in the VAERS data. It's just a starting point, not a rigorous study. Stop spreading conspiracy theories that rely on raw VAERS data. And this isn't new. According to a report by Vice, to show the unreliability of this system, a doctor posted to the site back in 2004 claiming another vaccine turned him into the Incredible Hulk. The CDC asked if they could remove that post, which they did, but had they not, it would still be there. VAERS does have its benefits, though. It is how they were able to detect a trend when it came to blood clots in the Johnson & Johnson vaccine a few months ago. And at the time, there were just 6 cases in millions of doses. The CDC says they confirmed 38 cases of blood clots out of 12.5 million doses, 12.6 million doses. That's just 0.0003%. And how about a chance of death? Certainly a serious concern when it comes to the coronavirus, or any vaccine for that matter. But those chances are extremely rare, and there has not been a direct link to the COVID vaccine, according to the CDC. The latest from their website, updated 2 days ago. More than 331 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been administered in the United States. Over that time span, VAERS has received 5,946 reports of death. However, a review of available clinical information, including death certificates, autopsy, and medical records, has not established a causal link to COVID-19 vaccines. And they make it clear these reports alone cannot be used to determine if a vaccine caused or contributed to an adverse event or an illness. The reports may contain information that is incomplete, inaccurate, coincidental, or unverifiable. Reports to VAERS are also voluntary and are subject to biases. But even if you took the VAERS reports at face value, if of the 331 million doses distributed and 5,946 people who have gotten the COVID vaccine have died, and there was a direct correlation to that inoculation, that would mean a 0.0018% chance of that happening. You have a greater chance of dying from actually getting COVID. In Idaho, that's a chance that's greater than 1%. More than 2,100 Idahoans have actually died from the actual virus. We're not trying to diminish any death, by the way, verified or otherwise. But considering these numbers, you do have a greater chance of dying from any preventable death. Things like smoking, drinking, diet, an STD. That's according to the National Safety Council. You have a 4.1% chance of dying from any of those things. You have just under a 1% chance of dying from a fall, just a slip, trip, and a fall. A car crash, just under that. You have a 0.35% chance of dying from a gunshot, even less of a chance by an accidental gunshot, but that's still a greater chance than the COVID vaccine. You have a better chance of choking on your food and dying than meeting your demise after getting a COVID shot. Sharp object there, 0.003%. In fact, the closest thing to COVID vaccine the National Safety Council says could get you, a cataclysmic storm. We also saw a lot of references yesterday to the Nuremberg Code, as in, you can't force me to put something in my body. Well, you can stop that in its tracks, because first of all, the Nuremberg Code, which came out of the Nuremberg military tribunals in 1947, those were the trials where 23 Nazi doctors were held accountable for crimes against humanity, because they were performing medical experiments on prisoners of concentration camps. The main edict of the Nuremberg Code is voluntary consent, which those heinous crimes obviously didn't have. But this get vaxxed or get axed policy was already tested in Texas. Last month, the judge dismissed a lawsuit where Houston Methodist employees were suing the hospital for making vaccinations a requirement. The judge made it clear in his ruling, or in his dismissal, this is protected and it's not coercion. The hospital is simply trying to do their business of saving lives without giving them the COVID-19 virus. It's a choice made to keep staff, patients, and their families safe. And as an at-will employer, like Idaho is an at-will state, a worker can be fired for simply refusing to come in early. That would be much the same thing. So maybe we could stop comparing COVID protocols to pretty much anything that happened in and around World War II.